I'll sell my home when the value goes up. Okay, now let's think about this one. They're going to sell their home when the value goes up. People get this today. I get this objection. Now, this is number 5 on the 40 real estate objection handlers, the Mike Ferry 40 real estate objection handlers. I'll sell my home when the value goes up. Okay, so that's exactly how I'd start this rebuttal off. Because if somebody said that to me in today's market, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to say, you're going to sell your home when the value goes up, right? So I repeated it as a question. Now, when I do that, that's going to automatically, for most people, they're going to give a little bit more information. Yeah, I know that the market's hot, and I'm seeing that prices. I'm watching the news, and I'm seeing prices that they're going up. And I have a number. When the prices go up more, then I'll sell my home. Okay, you know what, Mr. Seller, Mrs. Seller, I totally get it. In fact, one of the primary goals that most homeowners have is to sell their home for the highest possible price in the least amount or the quickest amount of time. Is that true for you as well? Right? Guys, look at that. I did the formula. I did the ultimate rebuttal formula. I acknowledged, I approved, I did a softener, and then I did an ask, right? Now, if you don't mind me asking, how much would your property have to go up before you decide to sell your home? Guys, it's a legitimate question, right? How much? What's that number? What's that magic number that when you hit it, automatically it triggers a bot or a sell signal? Well, if it goes up another 50,000, then I'll sell my home. Okay, another 50,000. Okay, wow. Again, if you don't mind me asking, how did you come up with that number? Now think about this, guys. If you were talking to one of your friends, one of your relatives, somebody that you had rapport with already, don't you think that those are the most common questions that you would have? Right? How much? So if I sell my home and the value goes up, really? That's interesting. So how much would it have to go up before that automatic sell signal would be initiated? Well, it'd have to go up another 50,000. 50,000. Wow. If you don't mind me asking, how did you come up with that number? Right? Okay. So, and then they're going to tell you, well, it's just, I don't know. It's just a number that I would do. If I could, I bought this X amount of years ago, and if it goes up to this, then we'd go to that. Okay. That makes sense. So you bought it so-and-so, you did it this. I'm just doing the ultimate rebuttal formula. I'm just repeating the whole process. Okay. I totally get it. Right? So if you do this, that, and the other, and this is how you came up with the number, right? Yeah. Okay. So my question to you, I don't mean to pry. What would happen if you didn't sell this home? I mean, do you really have to sell it? Guys, what do I always share with you? You don't have a lead until you know their why and their when. Now, if you only know on this that their value, once it goes up to 50 grand, up another 50 grand, let's say it's a $500,000 house, which in Southern California, in my market, doesn't really get you much. But let's just say that. It's a $500,000 house, which means that they want 10% over market. And this is a legitimate scenario. So number one is, how did you come up with that number? But number two is, what would happen if you didn't sell it? And if you don't mind me asking, why do you want to sell your home? Really, you could get away with just saying, why do you want to sell this? Because the motivation is going to dictate, well, if I don't sell this home, I'm just going to keep it. Okay. How long do you think you're going to keep it for? Forever, until I die. Okay. That's a condition. Okay. That is a condition. You can ask a few more questions after that. Okay. So what you're telling me is that right now, the market is home prices, home values are at the highest price in recorded history. So there's 100% probability that you can sell it right now for the most money ever. What I'm hearing from you is, unless you get 10% over what the current market is that you're going to die in this house. Am I hearing that correctly? Yes, I do. Okay. Do you quite possibly, do you know when that will be? Right? Maybe you can pick it up on a probate. No, I wouldn't say that. So, but here's the thing, you can't rebuttal a condition, right? And you have to know their motivation really to go down the path. So I'll sell my home when the value goes up. The biggest thing on this is number one, how much does it have to go up by? Number two, how did you come up with that number? And then number three, find out why they need to sell. And they might tell you that they don't need to sell. It just makes sense to them from a financial point of view. They make 10% on their money if they were to do that. So chances are they're not going to do that. Well, Mr. and Ms. Seller, quite honestly, if we sell your home right now, I don't think that you're going to get, I can promise you, you're not going to get 10% over value, not listing that high. And with the uncertainty going into next year, in fact, a lot of experts, most experts are starting to agree that we're going to see a downward pressure on prices. To what extreme, we don't know. So it might be several years before you could even get what you're getting now later. Would that change anything for you? No, that wouldn't change anything for us. We'll just stay here, right? We're fine. We can play the long game. We got plenty of room. My kids are older. They're starting to leave the house. So, if I have to hold on to this house for another decade, then I will. Guys, what I would do is put that person into your database if you have rapport with them. If you don't have rapport with them, if they just told you that if the home goes up by 10% or 10 years happens, then they might consider selling the home. So that's it. Okay, so that's how I would rebuttal using conversational selling. I'll sell my home when the value goes up. The final one,